Hello students, myself Sarang Deshpande, the Mathematics Faculty of Global Education Center. In this class, we are going to introduce the chapter Polynomials. So what are the things that we are going to introduce in this class is, first thing, what are polynomials? Second, what is a standard form of polynomial? Third, what are the types of polynomial? Fourth, we are going to discuss about the degree of the polynomial. Fifth, value of a polynomial, and the last, zeros of the polynomial. Okay. So basically in this class we are just going to do the introduction part of the chapter. Now as you know, this chapter little part you have already studied in grade 8. Okay. So what does basically a polynomial mean? A polynomial is any mathematical expression that can be expressed with the help of variables and constants. Now what do you mean by variables, right? We all know what are variables, whose value will change, correct? Variable means change, right? And the constant means basically your numbers. So mathematical expression that is formed with the help of your variables and constant, that is called as a polynomial. But this doesn't give you the entire idea basically what is a polynomial. So for that we are going to learn the standard form of polynomial. Okay, so you can give the heading standard form of polynomial. Now, any polynomial can be represented as f of x or p of x. Okay, so let us say our polynomial is p of x. It means the given polynomial is in terms of x. Is in terms of x means the main variable will be x. So in this chapter we are going to deal with the polynomials only with single variable. Okay, so p of x stands for a polynomial in terms of x. Now its standard form is written as Now, we have written the standard form on the board, that is an x raised to n plus an minus 1 x raised to n minus 1 plus an minus 2 into x raised to n minus 2. Like that it will go till a1x plus a0. Now when you look at this polynomial, here compulsory this value of n is our whole number. Value of n has to be whole number. So n means basically the power of x in each term. Okay. And now when you see this n minus 1, n minus 2, like that it is reducing till here. I can say the value of n is 1, and in the last term since x is absent, I can say the value or the power of x is 0. Correct? So we can say in this standard formula, or you can say in this standard form, the powers of x are going to reduce. Okay? And basically this is considered as a standard form of polynomial. Now I can understand by seeing at this expression, it looks little bit confusing. But when you start breaking this polynomial from the last, the expression becomes quite easy. So after learning this standard form, we are going to start with the types of polynomials. So in this standard form, what we are going to remember basically, p of x stands for a polynomial that is expressed in terms of x. Then this an minus 1, an minus 2, like that a1, a0 are the coefficients. Okay, so I can say an minus 1, an minus 2, like that a1 and a0, they are called as coefficients. Okay, and this value of n should be compulsory a whole number, then only we can call it as a polynomial. Now let us see what are the types of polynomials. Okay, so to understand the types of polynomials, basically these types are categorized on two main bases. Okay, so one type is based on degree of polynomial. Okay, and second type is based on number of terms. Now what do you mean by this? Suppose in the standard form, okay, if I just select the last term present in the standard form, so is the last term a0. It means everything I am making it 0, only the last part I am considering. So in the last part, that is a0, x raised to 0 I can neglect because anything x raised to 0 is 1 only, right? So when I consider this a0, I can consider it as a constant. Now what is constant? A number which is without variable, right? So the last number is our constant number, right? So if I consider a polynomial p of x that consists of only a constant, only a number, that is considered as a constant polynomial. Constant polynomial. Okay. Now here you can see the classification is based on degree of polynomial. Now what do you mean by degree? Degree means the power of x. So in the last term, can I say the power of x was 0? Okay. So for any given expression, if the maximum power of x is 0, then we can say it is a constant polynomial. Okay. Now, if I consider the last two terms now, can I say the highest degree will be 1? Correct. So this will be a1x plus e0. Okay. This will be a1x plus a0. For our simplicity, instead of writing a1x plus a0, I can also write it as ax plus b. Correct. So my second category can be written as p of x is equal to ax plus b. So here in this case, the maximum degree or the maximum power of the variable x is 1, and such a polynomial is called as linear polynomial. This is called as linear polynomial. Okay. Now let us take the last three terms of the polynomial. So here if the degree of x is 0, here it is 1. Can I say here it will be 2? Correct. It means the first term will have x square, the second term will have x, and the third term will have constant. Okay. And for my simplicity again, instead of taking a0, a1, a2, I can write it as a, b and c. Yes or no? So if I consider the last three terms of the standard form, I will get it as ax square plus bx plus c. Okay. So the next category can be written as p of x is equal to ax square plus bx plus c, and since here the degree of the polynomial, that is the highest power, is 2, we call it as quadratic polynomial. It is called as quadratic polynomial. Similarly, if I take the last four terms now, okay, without seeing the standard form, how we can write? We can say first it will be x cube, then it will be x square, then it will be x, and then it will be a constant. Okay, so you can give the coefficients as a, b, c, and the constant is b. So when the degree of the polynomial is 3, it is called as cubic polynomial. Okay, it is called as cubic polynomial. And let us see one more type. Say suppose p of x, where the degree of the equation or where the degree of the expression is 4, we can say this is ax raised to 4 plus bx cube plus cx square plus dx plus e, and such type of polynomial with degree 4 is nothing but our biquadratic polynomial. Okay, so these are the first 5 categories where we can categorize the polynomial depending upon their degree. So constant polynomial, correct, then we have a linear polynomial with degree 1, then we have a quadratic polynomial with degree 2, then we have a cubic polynomial with degree 3, and a biquadratic polynomial with degree 4, and so on. Okay, but these are the first 5 types that you need to remember. Okay, so this is our first classification. Now let us try to understand the second type of classification. Now this classification is actually very easy. You have already studied in grade 8 or grade 7 also, right? So number of terms, when I say number of terms, if I consider a linear polynomial, here if I ask you how many terms are there, you will say sir only one term is there, correct? But here if I ask you how many terms are there, you will say there are 2 terms. Similarly in the third, there are 3 terms, right? So basically 1 term, 2 term, 3 term. So in any expression, if I say only 1 term is there, correct, that is called as monomial. Mono means 1 and mial means term, so 1 term means monomial. Okay, so if I say example, okay, let us take some good examples. Now if I ask you 3x is a monomial or binomial? It is a monomial. Why? Because 3 into x is considered as a single term. But if I write 3 plus x, then these are 2 different terms, so this cannot be considered as a monomial. Okay, now one more example I can say. Suppose 1 upon x raised to minus 2. You will say sir the value of degree should be a natural number, should be a whole number. But when it has to be in the numerator. So if I take this to the numerator, can I say this is equal to x raised to 2? And x raised to 2 we can consider it as a polynomial Because the standard form says that the value of n, that is the degree of the variable, should be a whole number, and 2 is a whole number. Okay. So 1 upon x raised to minus 2, when we write it as x raised to 2, it can be considered as a polynomial, and at the same time it can be considered under the category of monomial. Okay. Now suppose we consider two terms. Okay, there are two terms, correct? Now when it is two terms, for one term we write monomial, so for two term what we'll write it as binomial, correct? Binomial means there will be two terms. So example, what you can say? Example, as we discussed, first x plus 3, then what we can say, 3x square minus 7x, correct? Many examples can be made for binomial also. And similarly, when I talk about three terms, correct, that it is called as trinomial. It is called as trinomial. And again, for examples of trinomial, what you can say, from here if I want to pick, I can pick this equation. Suppose 2x square plus 5x minus 7, correct? Or you can say suppose x raised to 5 minus 4x raised to 3 plus 2x. Okay, so whenever there are three different terms, you will say it is an example of trinomial. Okay, so this is a classification that is based on number of terms. Okay, now here there might be some interesting questions that can be generated. Okay, suppose we have a true or false statement. If I ask you, a monomial should be always a constant polynomial, is it true or false? Answer is false, because when I say constant polynomial, the degree of x has to be 0. But when you see this example, we have taken a linear polynomial also. Sir, how linear polynomial? See the degree of x, here the degree of x is 1. So it can be any type of polynomial, right? So it doesn't mean that if it is a monomial, only single term is there, then compulsory only constant polynomial can enter. No, any of the type can enter in here, any of the categories. Okay, so monomial can be constant, can be linear, can be quadratic, can be cubic, can be biquadratic. Okay, now one more thing I want to add here is that when I say a linear polynomial, okay, ax plus b, right? When I say it is a linear polynomial ax plus b, to keep it as a linear, what is the important condition? The degree of x should be 1. It means the presence of x is very important, or I can say the presence of x raised to 1 is very important. So to keep this x alive, I can say the coefficient of x cannot be 0, because once I make this a as 0, this entire term is vanished, and what is remaining there? Only b is remaining, and if only b is remaining, I can say it is constant polynomial as x is absent. So whenever we write a linear polynomial, we can say the coefficient of x that is present, that is a, it cannot be 0. It can be any other number, but it cannot be equal to 0. Okay. Similarly, now to keep this as a quadratic polynomial, who is the main thing? Main term is x square, correct? So to keep this x square term alive, what I will say, sir, don't make a as 0, because if I make it a as 0, correct na? If I make a as 0, this part is gone. What is remaining? Bx plus c. And what is the degree of bx plus c? It will be 1, and it will be considered as linear. Okay. So wherever you can see, I can just write down this point that a is not equal to 0. Okay. So I hope this classification is clear to all of you. Standard form and degree, and the other one is based on number of terms. Now let us move on to the next topic. Okay. Next topic is value of polynomial. Value of polynomial, and the second one is zeros of polynomial. Okay, zeros of polynomial. Both are very easy topic. Now let us try to understand. Suppose any polynomial is given to you. Example number 1. I'll directly start with the examples. Okay. An example is there, p of x is equal to 2x square minus 3x plus 1, and question is find p of 1. Now what do you mean by this exactly? You have to find the value of p of 1. It means in the given expression, wherever x is present, that position will be interchanged by 1. So the given expression p of x, if I substitute x as 1, it will be called as p of 1. Similarly, on the right hand side, wherever x is there, I will start writing 1 over there. Remaining everything remains same. Okay. So what I can say, this is 2 into 1 square minus 3 into 1 and plus 1 as it is. If you solve this further, this will become 2 minus 3 plus 1. And what is 2 minus 3? Minus 1. Minus 1 plus 1 will be 0. It means if I keep the value of x as 1, I am getting the answer as 0. Therefore, I can say value of p of x at x is equal to 1 is 0. Correct? Similarly, if I take one more example, or for the same expression, or we can say one more expression, p of x is equal to 7x minus 4, and find p of x is equal to 7x minus 4 and find p of minus 2. So what we will say? We will keep x as minus 2. So this will give you 7 into minus 2 minus 4. What is 7 into minus 2? Minus 14, and minus 4 will give you minus 18. Clear? So the value of polynomial is a very easy topic. You have to just substitute the value of x wherever it is present in the given expression. Okay. Now let us say, or let us understand what is the meaning of zeros of polynomial. Now what you understand from this word 0? 0 means basically a digit, right? It is this digit, right? So the zeros of polynomial are basically those values of x. If I substitute in place of x, the entire polynomial turns out to be 0. Okay, so let us try to understand slowly, very easy topic. These two examples are there in front of you. Okay, can I say in this polynomial, if I keep the value of x as 1 everywhere, what is the answer I am getting? Answer I am getting as 0. It means the value of x as 1, if I keep it in the given expression, the expression turns out to be 0. So for that case, we can say x is equal to 1 is the 0 of this polynomial. Okay, once again, what I said, x is equal to 1 is the 0 of the given polynomial. So you can just write this point. These are those values of x. Okay, these are those values of x. Those values of x for which p of x becomes 0. For which p of x becomes 0. Example. Okay, if I give you an example, say x square minus 5x plus 6. Okay, and if I say find p of 2 comma p of 3. So if I say find p of 2, what I will do first? I will call the given polynomial as p of x square minus 5x plus 6. And now if I ask you what is p of 2, you will say, sir, substitute x by 2 everywhere. This will give you 2 square minus 5 into 2 plus 6. So what is 2 square? 4. 4 minus 10 plus 6, and 4 minus 10 minus 6 plus 6 will be equal to 0. Similarly, p of 3, if I ask you, this will be 3 square minus 5 into 3 plus 6. So 3 square 9 minus 15 plus 6. Can I say this is again equal to 0? It means here for the given expression, the value of x, if I keep it as 2, or even if I keep it as 3, the polynomial is giving the answer as 0. So I can say x is equal to 2 and x is equal to 3 are the zeros of the polynomial. Clear? And now last important point that we have to remember with respect to zeros of the polynomial. Here what is the speciality if you see in the given example? This is a quadratic example. Okay, this is a quadratic polynomial. So can I say the degree of this polynomial is 2? And if the degree of the polynomial is 2, can I say there are two values of zeros I can say? It means the number of zeros for any polynomial is equal to degree of the polynomial. And this is nothing but a fundamental theorem of algebra. Okay. So the next and the last very important point is fundamental theorem of algebra. Okay, so let us see now what is the statement for fundamental theorem of algebra. It says that for any polynomial p of x, the number of zeros is equal to the degree of p of x. Meaning, if it is a constant polynomial, it will have no zeros. If it is a linear polynomial, it will have 1 0, because the degree of x is 1 in this case, right? So I can say for linear polynomial, correct, number of zeros is equal to 1. Similarly, we saw one quadratic polynomial now. So if it is a quadratic polynomial, number of zeros will be equal to 2. Similarly, if I ask you if it is a cubic polynomial, number of zeros it will be 3, and so on. Okay, so I hope all the things that I have taught you in this class is clear to you. Okay, so we'll meet in the next class. Bye bye.